this and then this. Panic. Don't panic. Panic. Oh. Oh my god, how could I? I was so good for so many years, Brad. Oh, it's so loud. Sorry, so loud. There we go. Test. Hello, Tasper. 0, I am so late. So gosh darn late. By God, people. God, it's also the camera's all fucked because I literally if I look like a sweaty, disgusting pig, I was just exercising and then it clicked on me. I'm like, wait, we're not doing Wednesday's workout thing. Oh shit, it's 5:30. Also, I was like making a thumbnails late. Usually I start working out as soon as we can on Wednesdays. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. I was literally writing. In fact, if you go to the hub channel, you can see, I'm still coming pretty hot still. Trying to download it. In the hub channel, I was still. Why the fuck is it so loud? What the fucking shit? Test. Why? Test. No, what's that's the right microphone. Test. That's it. Okay, I don't know. You give me some variability here. Also, whatever. The camera's fine. Anyways, yeah, I was debating. I was literally writing in the hub channel. You can see that Grinn's typing probably in that damn thing. Because I didn't delete my message that I was writing. I was like, sorry guys, I didn't know, I thought it was Wednesday. My bad. But then I was like, it's 6:40. No, it's 5:40. I don't have any coffee, dude. I am just here. Okay, god damn it. Also, this is the build that we were not made, sorry, that was the build we were checking out, because we have our series on our channel. It's just chilling, looking at your guys' cool creation. No, not that one. Grave, we'll do that one. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my god. I got caught up making a Deathverse voiceover. I made a thumbnail real quick. Also, there's a video that's out right now that's over at the Brothers GRINN channel. Just we're cannibalizing each other right now over with the video at the same time stream. Granted, the one video is kind of short. How do you guys feel about the nerf to rings? I thought it was I might get some pushback from this. Hilarious. Just because of the context of them being like, so there's certain things that are not, like, they have a lot of cost to detonating. It's very hard for them to detonate or trigger. So we nerfed everything and increased the ones that are hardest to trigger by like 10%. Granted, there's still the ones that everyone uses is still probably the best. But it's just an overall nerf to spell or for rings. It was weird. It was weird. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was also not expecting to for this day to be how it was. Frankly, I was expecting to be on a job right now. Well, not job. I'd be able to come back at this time, but that's what threw me off, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't even. Yeah, we're so good at arriving on time. My water's not even here. God damn it. Red says hello. What's good, Laps? Laps says oi, oi. Also, is that Mr. Freeze or the Freeze guy from Incredibles? Also, it still seems low. The camera still seems high. I mean, not low. This is what happens when you rush. You're just like, fuck. What's happening? Fluff says, I was confused and thought it was somehow missing a stream. Also, what the hell is that cosmetic? What do you call that? Cosmetic is from a build that we were reviewing. I don't know what it's from. I'm fine with the ring effect adjustment. Thumb cliffs are likely to be the best option from constant activation bonus. Is thumb cliffed? I heard Moxie say that was the one that was going to be best in the chaos chambers, but I guess that makes sense because the only real thing when you need an amplification of damage is when you're in the chaos chambers and you're fighting elite enemies. Otherwise you melt everything pretty fast just with having decent gear. But I don't know. I seen the one that said it gives you critical chance. So every time you get a crit, unless I'm misunderstanding it, I thought it was every time you get a crit, you get 3% of damage. But I think that stacks, or is it literally just 3%? That's it. If that's the case, then what the fuck? But I think it sounded like it stacked. Lipton says, "Oh no, my Zane. Oh, it's your Zane bill. Okay, hell yeah. Oh wait, no, Lips. Is that what you mean? Oh no, is that your build that we checked out? Hell yeah. You're Grim on Discord? Fluff says, so it's the most reliable to end. I mean, I don't know, the one, if the crit one works as I think it sounds like it's working, which is basically it's going to stack starting at 3% per stack. And every single time you score a crit, it's going to stack on top of each other. That one sounds pretty good. Unless they have something where it's just like, it would be shocking to me if it was literally just a 3% gain. That would make no, yeah, I think it stacks. So that one to me seems great because it's actually pretty easy to get critical hits. Given you, even if you just have a stack bot weapon that gets critical hits easily, like the chill weapon, you know? But yes, but yeah, no, I think it's like that's one of the things that frustrates me a little bit. I think it's kind of funny, but it's like across the board, it's a huge nerf. Like we had 100% times damage, and now we have at the most 66. That's almost impossible to have. The 66%, like to me, that's one thing that I was kind of like, this is actually a big nerf. Like from what we had to what we now have is pretty substantial. And my only thing I dislike is that they kind of, this is my own personal perspective of it, but they kind of hid it behind this notion of what is it called? Of like, hey, we're like, you know, we didn't like that certain things that were easy to trigger were turning into like the norm. But they didn't, like, if that was their concern, why not just make the things that were actually challenging or had an act like you had to build for it, for that to have a higher payoff? Instead, they just nuked everything down to the board and increased the other ones by 3%, but there's still now there's like a new kingpin. There's like the new kingpin is the one that's in the dungeon, so we still have a main thing to go for. So instead of making it all kind of uniform, or maybe even making the ones that they give you more, like the ones that are really hard to detonate, like the ones that like when your shield is not full, when your shield is full, you get an effect, which never happens unless you have like a build that gives you a spell that gives you a barrier. Or you go invisible, and even then, it's not really. You're like, I haven't seen anyone who's able to keep a shield 100% up 100% of the time. Like, you may get a damaged instance, but you'll just step in a puddle and you'll die, or you'll get a chunk of your shield away. So to me, like, why not take that one? If that was your cause, if you wanting to give value to these other triggers, why not increase the damage gain that they do by the trigger? Because in no way have they done what they've achieved, what they've set out to do, which is we have these other rings, we want to make them more desirable, so we are going to give them, we're going to make you what? The idea is that you want to have value and invest in these other, not the two. But all they did is nuke the other ones and make two other ones hold in its place. So there's one that's like 66%. Percent bonus gain, which I think is the full shield one, and then I think there's another one that's the one that Moxie pointed out, which is in the dungeon itself you always have 33% going, but those are just going to become the new norm. So they didn't achieve their goal at all to me. If their goal was to do what they said, which is to equal the playing field for the triggered ones that are harder to trigger, but now I think they've just done the same, put themselves in the same place. But with less value. And again, I mentioned in the video, what if you were a person who hunted for the best stat roll, for the best ring, and now it's not even nearly as good? Guess what? You have to go find a brand new ring set. That's not how people's brains work. It's not like, cool, I get to go play and farm for another useless item that could be nerfed tomorrow. Golly! Like, and also, it's not like they addressed the nuking of bosses. Like, this didn't make a dent in the nuking of bosses. So, like, to me, I just don't understand the approach. That's my thing. To me, this exists, which is like triple dipping into a skill that's able to obliterate a boss, but these rings that were not really contributing that much to that happening, it's still happening, is now that. So now we need to hunt for more rings, but people already hunted their ass off for those rings. So the only net I could see, the net positive, the net effect of this is them just being like, well, I don't want to. What am I going to farm for more rings? No. What if they nerf them tomorrow? Like it just creates this problem with nerfing things. And I think things should be adjusted, which is why I think like to me, this is what made it so funny. If their goal was to make it so that there were other options, that there were like the other things that were harder to trigger, why not just have the things that are harder to trigger have greater value? But you don't diminish other people's investment. You could just leave them the way they are and times it by 150 and then fucking, I don't know, make a boss with more health or something, because that's the way they've always built it, because that's the way that you don't piss off people. But right now I think people are just going to start, people are already, after the DLC, being like, I'm kind of annoyed. Like, this is what we get, and also you've nerfed a couple things, you've buffed a couple things. Granted, they have done a lot of buffing, so I'm not entirely going for the throat here. We got a cool sword explosion buff. To me, this is just one of the nerfs where it's just confusing to me. I don't get it. I don't feel like they have achieved their goal of, like, if you wanted to make other rings more interesting and more viable, why wouldn't you make them better? Because right now, you've only made two other rings, the Kingpin, which is the Dungeon Domain, and the On Shield Full. That one you can maybe, again, you could use a spell that could give you a barrier that could help. There's also the Spore Warden that can instantly regenerate a shield. That could work. There's also the Stabomancer, which can go invisible. That could work. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me. One of the things I think could work is if you have, well, I'm not sure. I think if you had I'm not sure how that works. I think if you had the thing that when you slide, actually it wouldn't be worth the effect of the shield. Yeah, never mind. Lapsy says, nah, I mean the lightning spell build. Okay. What does it mean lightning spell build? What's that? Fluff says, the thing is, with the thumb cliffs are the most consistent, reliable. It's only a 33 bonus. There are often the give more than suitable 55 to 66 may pair. The rings are both. Oh, I see. Yeah, so you're saying you could run like a shield full and also in thing bonus. Yeah, and it would add up to 66. Yeah, so that's a good point. And together it'd be 66 gain of gun damage, spell damage, something like that. But yeah. Left says, whilst bonus damage bossing, while bossing, but on its own, it's already rolled really well. So it'll likely keep using those until I find the ideal role for thumb cuffs. Yeah, but Fluff, I mean, to my perspective is... that the feeling that I would get if I devoted like a shit ton of time to like getting a specific thing, and then like I found out that it was not even worth pursuing anymore, then I would just feel like, well, why would I pursue the next thing? Because it's just gonna be worthless. That's the problem. But also I know the problem of just buffing things. But that you just retool things to make sure people are still satisfied with their investment, but there's still clearly a kingpin. And it's not like I don't think rings were making and breaking builds. It was the fact that skills are intrinsically not working how they're described. They're like working. If they are, it's like has a subtext that says dipping into this one thing 5 times. Which again, I'm happy with that. I think that's fun. I think otherwise builds are kind of like in this weird place at chaos level 35. But we are already having to hunt, like, that's another thing I forgot to mention. People already had to hunt for a brand new set of gear at level 35, primordial gear, especially when the enemies are scaled up. Not only that, but the primordial gear has an even lower chance to drop. So imagine if you got a primordial gear ring that was the right roll and then this happens. I would be like... I'm not even excited when I see something to drop anymore, man. Like a ring at least. And again, that's not fair because they haven't nerfed everything. But I just think this is a feedback loop that people will use. Like there's plenty of times where we've been playing this game and people have jumped back into the game and been like, I stopped playing because of the nerfs. And granted, like there weren't even that many nerfs. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just the feedback loop that happens within people's brains, especially within a game that is intrinsic to hunting gear. At least I think. But yes. Also, does anybody know if the new... Actually, it might. No, is it Friday? Before we go in here, let me check. Is the final month or week in the month that we finally have access to the domain? Oh, I don't... No, we did that. We got up all the way up here with our melee build. Well, we'll be able to run through this on our spell build anyway. Bonus whilst damage bosses. Oh, right. I mean, the same deal that we had to accept with the first hotfix, liquid cooling nerf. Everyone was using the gun regardless of the build, and now we have to hunt for the new gear work. Yeah, but Fluff, I think it gets worse. Like I think that's a big thing. I think not everybody was like, now to hunt for the new piece of gear. I think people were like, no, especially when people who are like fundamentally using that as a way to get through the game. Again, it devalues your investment. At least that's been my feeling. I know some people are like, well, I'm having fun when I'm playing, and I just like having fun. So the fact that I have more things to do, it's good. But I think that can be achieved without just destroying your past investment. I think that could be achieved by adding funner ways of playing, by making unique spells, by giving new class mods that unlock a whole new thread of gameplay. That kind of thing. I don't think you need. Yeah, I don't think the nerfing thing, especially when I just don't know the reason why rings were nerfed in the first place. Besides, they were being pigeonholed, which I get, but the way, like, because if that was their true goal, they descaled everything. Like, we no longer have a 100% damage gain on our rings. We have a 66% at the highest and 30 around the lowest, or not lowest, sorry, around the norm. So to me, it's like, but rings weren't making or breaking builds. So it's like, this is a weird attack. Just to be like, fuck you. It's like, why? I don't know. Again, I'm not really affected. I'll just download a save file with the best rings. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's true. I'll do it for you on Sunday. I'll drop it for you. But so there's answers to these, but it's like it makes work for the community, and it also like, again, the net result is not people not having the best, strongest ring. People will just prioritize what the best ring is and then use that. Granted, if they were to make everything like 130, and the ones that were actually a pain in the ass to detonate, to actually give mass incentive to use those, because they could incentivize a build, given your build was having no health or something like that, you know? There's also, it makes sense that, like, people want a ring that does the thing that they want to have happen. So if there's one that's like when your health is above half, you get an effect, the ring bonus. But there's not one that has a debuff, or sorry, there's not one that has like when you're really low health, you get a bonus. Which that one's like feeds into other builds. It makes sense. Instead, there's this weird clash happening. You know? Fluff says that they tuned up a lot of rings. Thumb cliffs were not valued all pre-patch. That 100%. But yeah, I know, Fluff, but it's not, to me. The thing is that I don't even know if what do you call it too? But like the thumb cliffs, sure. But like to me, they've just taken two other things and brought them up. You know. To be fair, none of my amazing rings were self-farm. Yeah. And all you need to do is find one that suits your playstyle, dupe it, and use both. This should be the final difficult for oh, nice. People quit the game at the first drop of a hat or a nerf in the game. Yeah, but man, I don't know if that's entirely wrong, because that, to me, I just like when people say this game sucks. It's a fucking piece of shit. I hate it. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I can't infer anything from that. When people say I quit the game because they keep nerfing something, like the same thing. If you get a negative comment on a video. For me, I got to deduct, like I just got a comment this morning that was basically like, it's kind of, it's interesting, but it was basically a person being like, it was on one of my Krieg build, and it was a person basically being like, give me like 4 build videos that are 6 minutes a piece with timestamps. And I thought, okay, well, this person's clearly not liking the longer form content. Also, he's saying that timestamps would help. And I'm like, yes. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it with that one, but every video coming out, I think we should do that. I think you mentioned that. I think it's a good idea. But I have to infer that. Same thing with people saying, I stopped playing the game because of nerfing. And then you ask deeper, why did you do that? And of course, I asked myself that. Why would, if this was a problem that I had, why would I stop playing? And my thing is, because it just devalues what I've just done. So it makes me feel like I don't want to invest anymore. And I think that's a valid reason to not do in a game that's entirely about getting loot and building your character. If tomorrow your build could be redundant, then that's a feeling that you don't want. That's not just like people being like, people will drop off the game. It's like, I mean, I don't know, man. I think it's a valid criticism. When people are like, I just spent 6 hours in this game and it's shit, you know? That's why Genshin never nerfs fucking nothing, because people literally spend thousands and thousands of dollars, and 1,000 people would be pissed. And those are the biggest whales, and those whales would stop investing because, again, they would have that same uncertainty. There's a ring type that provides bonuses when your health is low. Yeah, but is it worth that? Because that's the thing. As soon as your shield goes, you're dead then. You're, like, dropped immediately, you know what I mean? Because health gating works as if you're full health, in your low health, it will give you a moment of invincibility, and then bring you back up. Lap says devs being lazy, that the new norm. Back then, they only buffed, if I remember correctly. Yeah, well, again, that's the thing, man. This is the thing that's interesting to me, Lapis. They like this was something that they kind of, and they're better about it this time, but it's not like like, again, I think there's 2 separate teams working on Wonderlands and working on Borderlands 3. And the team that worked on Borderlands 3 had to like chew through a lot of controversy, which basically they kept nerfing things. Their players dropped like a sack of bricks. And then when DLCs came out and with certain updates and with certain buffs and with certain like reallocations of things and content creation, honestly, a lot of it was because people kept making builds for the game and people kept getting interested and excited by those builds. But also that was also the birth of like save files being thrown around and that being so nice, because people, again, if people don't want to invest, then they'll let somebody else invest for them, and be okay with that, you know. Then they'll be like, okay, we're good, you know, and they'll reuse save files. And that was and now maybe there's a bigger argument for that because Wonderland is crossplay and PC people can drop console people stuff and they can kind of have that too. But yeah, man, to me, like Borderlands 3 learned all these lessons. They learned what happens when you nerf things vigorously. But granted, they haven't done that. but they kind of have. They have, but they, like, to me, it's funny. I just finished. Also, what's good, Ben? Hi. What's good, Justin? But it's funny, man. I just finished watching an amazing anime. But it's called The Realist Hero Reborn into a Kingdom or something. I can't remember the whole thing, but it's a Realist Hero is what it's called. But one of the things that they talk about, and it's kind of in a beautiful way, like they find a really cool way to describe this. But they've always heard this stupid. It's not stupid. It's actually it has a lot of merit. But it's the idea of if you were a king, what is it better? Is it better to be loved or hated if you were in a position of power? And the whole premise to me has always been very edgy, and it's always been like very one-sided. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess there's a lot of good reason for why. It's usually like said by the tyrant of a kingdom or some sort of weird thing in like a Game of Thrones like show or within a storytelling situation where it's like, yeah, violence is power, and then the guy gets usurped or whatever, right? But in the show, the guy makes this person basically, it's that whole saying comes from a philosophy book, I think, a Greek philosopher who basically asks that question to the viewers, but doesn't tell people like it's better to be loved than or hated than loved or something like that. He asked the question to the viewer: is it better to be loved or hated by your subjects? And in the previous chapter of his philosophy kind of book, apparently, he talks about the idea of how there's like super big consequences to those who are cruel and people who overcorrect, really. So if your constituent basically in your kingdom or some bullshit, this is way back in the day, like betrayed you or something, what you were not supposed to do is constantly, little by little, punish them in minuscule ways, and then finally, or punish them severely constantly. And then this is kind of the inference from the anime, which I really like, but it kind of talks about this idea of, is it better to be loved or hated? And it's kind of this idea is you're supposed to be very, very cruel and like merciless once, but then never do it again. So if you think about that, if you were like to punish a child, if you were to punish somebody in such a way that would basically make it so that they constantly like shrug off the consequences, like, oh, I got like a little tap on the bum, whatever, I'll take it if it means I can like be a crazy person or steal whatever, right? But if you see a parent that's like overly corrective, like beating the shit out of their kid for doing stuff, punishing them, it creates trauma in the brain, distrust and fear, all these horrible things. But if you put the right amount of pressure and you make it completely uniform and you be kind of cruel once, not 500 times, but once, so that the person remembers that this is not the place where you go to, then the mind seemingly respects that. And also, you won't have to be evil all the time. You can actually be quite kind, and then people realize, okay, well, if we kind of fuck up here, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So let's remember what happened last time? Yeah, John and Sarah got beheaded, and their heads were on pikes and shit. Golly. Well, yeah, let's be careful, all right? But if you're too cruel, if you punish everybody, then the moment anybody deviates, they're just going to see you as, that's my absolute death, I need to retaliate. And to me, the only reason why I bring this up is because I think it's kind of interesting of like overcorrection. Of when something doesn't work, oftentimes there's this feeling of like, I think, again, there's a crazy extrapolation on this idea, but if you're gonna nerf things, such a big, like, horrible depiction thing, but if you're gonna nerf things, do it all at once, everything's done, and then walk away. But the idea that you keep nerfing, keep just chipping away at things, pop, 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 I feel like it creates this feeling of like, this uncertainty, this feeling of like, oh no, I mean, do I even want to play? But if it all happens at once, you're like, shit. And then you can come back and be like, hey, they haven't nerfed anything in like 3 months. Okay, fuck it, let's invest again. You know, you build up that hope, and you're in the golden age, and you don't have to remember the dark age. Okay, the dark age, we don't talk about the dark age, you know? And I think that's an interesting prospect. I don't know if it works in all forms, but I think it makes sense. If you're gonna have to do something bad, do it once and do it right, and then never do it again. Yeah, and again, that's what the whole anime thing I just talked about does. I think it's, by the way, it's such a good show. If you just want a comfort show that talks about like strategy and like, it's basically like Civ. The realist hero rebuilds a kingdom is like Civ, no joke. But it's a really cool Civ. You know, also, did it happen again? Also, I'm so happy we're nerfing things when things still get stuck in the wall and the ground. Isn't that great? Fucking kill me. Ugh. Yup. Lapis says, "Yup, Nerf once or never." Yeah, man. Yeah, I think they should make a point to be like, "Hey, we're gonna," because imagine that. Imagine they're like, "Hey, you guys can have your fun. These are the things we're looking at. These are the things that we're gonna adjust, but we're gonna probably address them in 2 months. All right. So have your fun right now, but when 2 months comes, everything's gonna shift. So have fun. You got 2 months to play, but we're gonna shift things." And then you're like, "Okay." And then that 2 months comes, and you get a purge. You get like a complete revamp of the entire game ending, or like end game. I think people would actually be like, yeah, actually, I don't mind that. Like, I have 2 months to enjoy my weird meta. I'm pretty content. But when the fact that again, you might be like, but wait, they've given us a good bit of time to enjoy the kind of meta of weird things. But we haven't been able to, but it hasn't been spelled out to us. When you know there's an ending, you'll appreciate the beginning. If you don't know when the ending's coming, you're like, ah, fuck, and you're jaded because you feel like you've been slighted. You feel like something's been taken from you. But if I tell you this is gonna end, you're gonna make the most of it when you have it. Also, I might be overexposed because I didn't put up my my diffuser. Shit, I didn't do that last stream either. It wasn't changed in this. Oh, it's going to be changed next time. Okay. I mean, if that's the case, man, I feel like that'd be cool if they adjusted. Because again, I'm all for what they're trying to do with making more rings viable. I just think that the answer is not making everything worse. I think the answer is taking what wasn't like useful and giving it 130% more gain. So that way there's a reason for you actually doing the stupid hard give, which is, some of them were weird. Some of them were like, on certain critical, or on certain things you get an effect. It's the ring stuff. I just don't know what it's off the top of my head, but yeah. Sparks says, "You seem kind of late." Sparks, it's been the whole time. It's bad, Sparks. It's been real bad. I thought it was Wednesday today, my guy. I thought it was Wednesday. It was not Wednesday. It was Tuesday. I only clicked it when I finally was. So I might look sweaty. I mentioned that beforehand because I was starting to work out. And then I realized, I looked at my program and I was like, oh, it's Thursday's program. And then I was like, it's Thursday's program. And then I turned off my music. I turned off everything. I ran in here and I was like, so I was writing a Discord message that said, "Sorry guys, I fucked up today." And I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna lose my daily streak of streaming. Not happening, or not my daily, but my scheduled streaming. We take 2 days off, all right? It's okay. It's pretty daily, honestly. Yeah, Fluff says Genshin is very, very rarely buff anything too. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But also, I would say, I mean, Genshin is also one of those things where I feel like oftentimes people aren't entirely dissatisfied with characters. I feel like people have when there's a big hitting character, people are pretty over the moon. With the only exception I can think about is Yaimiko. Yaimiko people have a genuine dislike for what happened, her scaling and such. But that was one character out of a while. Granted, maybe people just have an emotional thing every now and again, but I don't remember that being the consistent thing. Yeah. But also that makes sense too. I think people don't want to, the reason why they don't buff stuff, I feel like that makes equal sense to the weird meta of their choice, like the idea of oh, well, we're not going to buff stuff because if we do, that makes people feel like they missed out. So unless they buff them the week that they're also in the banner, then they're not going to do that, right? So it kind of feeds in the same problem of well, what if people would feel like they had the wrong investment if that was the case, And I could see that too. I could see that from that perspective of oh, well, if I would have known that character was that strong, I would have wished. And then again, your whole thing is trying to appease whales. And if whales don't perceive a character as to be worth it, then they're not going to go for it, So I could see that being the weird idea behind that. Is same thing. We want to make sure the people keep spending their money, and if they don't feel like there's any value here, they won't spend the money, and then we'll be shit out of luck, They just introduced the next carrot on the stick. It's true. But also, yeah, I don't think many people perceive a lot of the characters as egregious. There's not everyone's Kazuha, but a lot of people are a lot of people are pretty good, usable enough, good enough to where you can have fun with them. I think Yaimiko's in a weird place where you have to have a lot of weird stuff in line, but also partially people could say that's your fault for not doing the right research or waiting for people to test things if you were looking for a powerful character, which I understand. But I think the whole same premise is trying to make it so that people feel like their investment is safe. Investment for not investing, investment for investing. And the only time they've done it is when there's been a huge backlash. And also, I don't think there was even that many sales. So I think they were like, like there wasn't that many sales for this character. We're just gonna, we're gonna readjust. Granted, maybe there were. I don't remember what Zhongli's sales were. Do 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 do. Fluff says, because your health is at 1, if thus below that is active, the ring will not touch with this hotfix. No. Yeah, I know that. But is that one? What is the gain on that one? Because I was wondering about that, Fluff. Did they not describe all of the rings? So is there still rings that they have, like, they're going to be the new best that they haven't described, that were not in that list? Like rings that they have another easily activated action skill. I thought they the below health was like 25. I think that's kind of weird, because if you have to if you're going to use that class mod, you're going to lose out on a lot of damage amp that you can get from other class mods. So I think it just balances out, you know. Granted, with that's actually a pretty big exception to that rule, because there's like enchantments that increase your damage when you have low health, and there's also Graveborn, which does the same thing. So I feel like that's kind of it's not great, the best example. I need to go get water. I'm fucking dehydrated as hell. Give me a sec, guys. I was starting to work out and my mouth is dry. Give me a minute. Alright, we're back. Lip says, what's your class, Grin? We are playing Graveborn and... Is that right? Graveborn? Yeah, Graveborn and Spellshot, I believe. Is that right? Am I crazy? Yes, Graveborn and Spellshot. Spell. God damn you and your movement. Pew Pew says he's a Spellshot Graveborn. Thank you, Pew Pew. Appreciate you. If I wouldn't have gotten to that faster, you would have saved my man. Thank you. Do that. I keep again, the reason why we have the spell build is so that we can cast spells like quickly. I'm fucking up and I'm throwing too many pixies. Yes, the reason why is because we'll burn out our whole magazine if we're not careful, basically. So that's why we have spells to do in the downtime. We can always melee too. Melee! Spark says, Fluff says, compared to Wonderlands and Genshin is an applies to organ sort of scenario, though it may it be more apt to look at the prior titles along other than our ARPGs, Diablo, Path of Exile, and that patches, cycle, and nerfs and buffs. I know, but to me, to me, again, we're not talking. Well, the reason why I bring that up is because I think it's a valid criticism. Like, I don't care what those other games have done. It's not like, to me, the effect. Does the effect reign true? I think it does. I think the effect of people being like, oh, I just worked a long time to get this, and now that doesn't work, or that no longer is powerful. What is the effect? Is the effect always, I can't wait to get the next thing, and it's not? Well, I mean, they just nerfed that one thing that actually didn't. It wasn't like it was one-shotting bosses. I don't know why that was nerfed anyways. And that other thing that's godly, why is that still there? Yeah, I don't know if the perspective of the person, and you're trying, maybe this is me just doing all these business courses, but you're trying to give value to your customer. And your goal as a creator is to, yes, make something that you want, but to also make something that your community wants. And I feel like there's a crash course in the DLC that we're currently experiencing that doesn't achieve that. I think the same thing could be said for a lot of the Nerfs. To me, maybe, possibly, that people are like, yeah, I'll just farm for another ring. I think there's a higher probability, though, that there's a greater group of people that feel like the fact that they already hunted for a ring is now completely redundant, you know? And again, it's not that I don't think the other side exists. I do think there are people who are like, yeah, I'm enjoying playing the game. Now I have more reasons to hunt. I'm happy. I'm content. I think that's a group of people. I just question if that's the majority. I think you should make your game for the majority. And also, I wonder if, again, my favorite thing in the world is someone finding the right solution. The right solution is where everyone becomes happy and everyone's content with the outcome, not where one side is appeased. Even if the side maybe in some ways is a majority, because what if there's a better way altogether? Now, what if there's a way that can make everybody happy and have the even greater effect? Granted, maybe that's wishful thinking, but I think it's better to aim that way. I thought the game crashed. Justin says, I'm an Xbox player. I can't download save files. I have mostly chaotic / volatile gear and great enchants. Chaos level 35 bosses are already taking 10 to 15 minutes to complete. More nerfs means less options. Now, I agree with that as well, Justin. I think again, there were that's why I say to me there were certain things that were like ungodly strong that were like nuking bosses in 2 seconds to me that weren't scaled down. But this, and maybe people are like, it's gonna happen, but it's just weird to start here. Like, if anything, rings were a catalyst for you to enable other builds. The gun builds that were maybe not the most volatile gear or chaotic or primordial gear, they were a way for you to keep your head above water. So which is why I'm like, again, I agree with the perspective of we don't want just 2 rings being the only thing you hunt for. But my bewilderment is that we have that again, but less damage. And they're harder to detonate, so it feels less rewarding, at least to me. So to me, I don't think they achieved their goal of if they wanted to make more rings available, they just made 2 new rings more viable. I think if they would have all made them again, you'd have variability based on the difficulty it is to chain. Like the fact that you have one that says this is the only one that kind of scaled above, I think, appropriately, but it's the when your shield is full. You get 66% damage. That's the new highest amount. But you have to massively build for that, I think. But also, it's not the hardest activation to achieve, I don't think. Those weren't all the rings in the list, only the ones they adjust. Okay, so maybe there's better ones than we've even seen. I recall there being a 50% buff, which makes it pretty good to use, but only if you get Deathless Mantle. Yeah, Deathless Mantle is kind of the meta. But again, that's my point. Is you kind of have to take away a 30% or a 50% damage conversion, a good bit of damage, you know. Lapis says, Graveborn and Spellshot sounds broken. Well, to me, man, this is the thing. The only thing that makes this class broken a little bit is the fact that it intrinsically scales with its investment of Spellshot. So your spell stack, weaving stacks get exponentially better, and that's just jumps of damage, basically. But the thing that really makes it insane, otherwise it's not that crazy, is pixies. Fear not pixies. But I don't think that should be the problem. I think the reason why they're crazy, man, is because they get scaled up through magic damage and companion damage. But why not have weapons that scale off of melee damage so that you can actually do ranged melee damage? Why not have weapons that scale off of ability damage? So to me, if this gets nerfed, man, I'm gonna be peeved. Or it can be descaled. I'm fine with it being, because it is hitting hard, really hard. So I understand it being descaled. But I don't think it should be nuked. I think this hopefully is the future. Please make this the future, where guns can take on multiple different scaling damage types so that they can be optimal for various builds. Because if you're not a gun build, sure as shit, nothing's going to be hitting hard if you're either a melee build or if you're either a spell build. Granted, maybe you can get away with it with a little bit of elemental fuckery, like buffing enchantments through elemental damage. That can kind of work, but not great. I don't think it's a great outcome. Focus on him, pixies. You're focusing on the other one. Please don't crash, game. Thank you. Ooh, no. Graveborn, weird. This. Fluff says, they already have our money. They don't get anything outside of our time between DLC drops. Yeah, to me that doesn't make the most sense, because isn't there like cosmetics? Oh, I guess that's the thing. They haven't introduced cosmetic things yet. But normally, if there was cosmetics or something in the game, which I thought there was going to be, if there's cosmetics in the game, then that would be a trickling effect of like, okay, the more people are in our game enjoying it. I also think that like, I mean, maybe you're right, but the DLC thing kind of puts things into a weird cadence, like a weird structured. Doesn't make it that, I don't think it makes it right, but I think it kind of gives some sort of weird sense to it. But it almost just makes people say, don't buy the DLCs, because they're incentivizing a weird model. But also, I don't know if that makes sense, because they consistently devote time to updating and managing the game's end game, you know? So I don't know if that's Gearbox's perspective either, of like, fuck it, we got your money, eat me. The only thing we want is DLC money, and after this, I don't know if we're gonna get another drop unless it's fucking stacked, you know? Also, I don't know if every Borderlands had that idea, I feel like people would be very upset with it. You know, I feel like people wouldn't buy the sequel of Borderlands. Maybe they would. But I agree that we need more options. I'm always I'm always one that prefers things to be brought up to the top tier rather than bringing top tier down to the bottom. Yeah, man. Again, I think if they have to nerf things, I don't think it's the play to do this bit by bit like this. I think it's like last week they actually had a pretty good idea. Like they were like, hey, we're gonna descale something, but we're gonna buff 4 other things. So like it's a net positive, you know, net more options. So it's like, okay. But this one, it was literally just like they didn't even express that it's like we've nerfed it. It's like they've expressed it like it's like, you know, the things were getting a little too hot, so we brought everything down. So now there's no like 100% scaling anymore. Which again, I for me, it doesn't do a lot, you know? I'm not like, because I could just download a save file that has these things. By one guy, by myself. Maybe I'm that guy who has to farm them. I don't know, maybe. Ben Bumble Walk says, I'm calling it Walk. Walk says, yeah, the ring nerf was kind of, yeah, man. Again, to me, we talked about it in a very, like, too much, too much, the best way I can describe it, way, but... yeah, to me, again, I think if you're going to nerf something, I think it's a good rule of thumb to do it all at once and just get it over with. Or just don't do it at all. But also, again, to me, I think there's so much of it that just doesn't make sense. Like the fact that, again, there's still, like, I don't know if rings were helping, like, other builds subsist. And I understand they're where they're coming from, but I don't know. But also, with that being said, though, maybe they haven't mentioned anything about like what they feel about the state of the game. Like, are they okay with people one-shotting bosses? I don't know. That's always this is in Borderlands, but sometimes the things that one-shot bosses get nerfed or nuked. So like, yeah, leaves a lot to be unraveled there. I'm not sure. Pew Pew says, I don't think the nerfs are even justified, or even really justified, by the way. The mood ring was overused because all other rings had insert farming friendly world starting with S. Yeah, no, I agree, man. Again, to me, like, it wasn't a symptom of like, well, people aren't using the other rings. It was like the other rings are not worth using. Like, the trigger is insane, which is, to me, like, again, if their whole point was we need to make it so that like people are more incentivized to use other rings, then give them a huge gain to use them, because a lot of times they're way too specific. Also, am I crazy in thinking the new best ring is that critical hit ring? Maybe it's just because I use like multiple things that can detonate a crit. But yeah, unless it is literally only buffing it by 3%. But I think it stacks. I think it stacks, like if you get multiple crits in a row, they're stacking. It's a 3% equals 6% equals da-da-da, you know? Is that not how that works? Justin says, I miss BL3 gun skins and charm. Yeah, I mean, that was a cute thing. My hope was that we would lose that but gain something else, you know? And we kind of haven't. I mean, we got Chaos Chambers. Chaos Chambers are kind of fun, you know? But yeah. To me, man, I'll tell you what. I'd be over the moon. I would be still like very, very much enjoying this game and like thinking this is like the next coming of Borderlands 2, you know, like just loving it to bits. If they would have made this DLC in a way that to me would make sense, like the fact that like if they would have each week, each difficulty tier that you beat, you'd get brand new legendaries, maybe like 2 or 3. And that way each week the community would have like a new thing to digest. Because I think in retrospect, they just, and maybe that's the way they're going to run it next time. Maybe it's because Chaos Chambers being increased simultaneously that they felt like, hey, we want to just put both of these in the same place because people are already going to be investing time into Chaos Chambers. We don't want people to feel divided. But fucking why, man? We have nothing to do as is besides do Chaos Chambers. Like, I don't think people would be like, oh, God, I have to, you know, do 2 new activities. Oh, God, you know? Yeah, although I do think they could just remedy that whole situation by just letting us immediately do Chaos level 35 or Chaos level 30. Just like let us, why do we have to individually go up one by one? It's just inefficient and is frustrating, frankly. I don't get that choice at all. Fluff says, Wonderlands is not monetized outside of the season pass content. It makes our furthest investment only via time. It doesn't incentivize much outside of what is promised via the season pass. I know, but I think everybody hates the season pass, frankly. I think everyone was very frustrated. The only person who is this stupid idiot who's like, maybe it gets better. Maybe next week we'll get some more legendaries. Which I think would have Millies made sense to me, because I think there's a great argument for Gearbox can see that nobody does side quests. Gearbox can see that only thing people do is kill bosses, go through areas, get gear. So if they could incentivize people to get loot, to get gear, while simultaneously killing enemies in a format that makes their build seem flashy and fun, then I think they would do that. But then they gave us all legendaries by doing one run of this event, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What is happening? And then it became redundant to do this event. And I'm only hoping that after we do this one, maybe there's one legendary at fucking the max tier difficulty that this motherfucker chum can drop. I don't know. I haven't heard anything, but yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? I think it's just maybe a cosmetic. Also, there's literally no reason to do the roulette table. The like little eyeball spinny thing here, nothing. Like just so much of like, what happened? What is going on? What is going on? Who made these choices? And how they didn't make no sense. Unless next season pass thing comes out and they're like, hey, so now yeah, one legendary, even if it's one legendary every week, that's a little bare bones. That's a little not enough. Also, I need to stop throwing so many guns. Walk says, hey, anyone have a 145 Nightshade on PS5? I do not, my friend. I do not. But also, games crossplay. So even if they had, the games crossplay. So you could have a PC person get it to drop, hopefully. So you don't need to specify. Unless is PS4 not crossplay? I thought it was. It has to be. Yeah, it has to be because fucking no Lone Sega plays this. Yeah. Fluff says, I would say apart from the ones being nerfed from 100% bonus, does allow more rings that were brought up to 33 to be more to be viable rather than the vendor fodder. Yeah, maybe. I just wonder, is that the core of the outcome, or is that the core of like what human beings will do? Is that the human outcome? I don't think it is. I think human beings are very easy to read. I think human beings are like, hey, mass majority of people, is it work? Is it the best? It is? How? Because it has the highest numbers and is easy to activate? That. I feel like people won't be like, but now I can have fun and experiment. No, we don't want experimenting here. We only want what is the most efficient and the most bang for your buck. It's hard to go backwards, basically what I'm saying. People want to get as close to what they were, and yeah. But I'd hope that there are other things, but I think that's what Moxie was trying to say about the one thing being really good. Also, oh my god, I have no ammunition. I think that's what Moxie was trying to say, is that I think people will always gravitate to what is the most consistent and useful thing, and everything else is kind of like, oh whatever, yeah. But again, if you were to be like, hey, now there's a huge gain to getting these special unique activations to maybe even where you want to build for them because they're giving you that much of an alley-oop, then you're like, oh, okay, That makes sense. You know, then this is actually, it's a whole different update. It's a whole different build idea. Like, okay, now I just need to make sure I can detonate my rings because they're where a lot of our damage is coming from. Right now, it's just like you're still only getting like maybe like a 30 or 40% damage bonus from your rings. Less, probably. You know, so you're like, oh, okay, something, maybe 60% damage if you have a certain kind of scaling, if you have primordial, which, come on, what are the odds of that, you know? Ashley says, Ashley, we're totally on time, totally not late, not fashion late at all, not sweaty because we were just working out and we had to immediately stop. Fluff says, I received 1% per stack gained, but don't know what the cap is. If it has, yeah, but that to me, that one seems crazy because you can get a lot of crits if you just have even the slight. I mean, especially if you have pixies. Just to throw that out there. Honestly, even just have guns with wings. If you should guns with wings with a stack bot for a spell build, and it constantly keeps making your spell damage, especially if it's primordial, that just seems crazy. Especially considering so much of the damage in this game is based on like consistent thing. Maybe it has a really big degradation, but even it's just critical chance. So you can detonate a bunch of critical chances on a boss. Granted, maybe people are like, no, I want to one-shot the boss, so I need the highest base scaling I can. Maybe that. Ben says, I feel like they do monetize outside of the season pass just because of the nerfs and buffing, the hotfix they do. Yeah. See, that's my thing. I think they will. I think they even mentioned that where they have a plan to buff things, like, or sorry, eventually add skins. It sounded like something that they were gonna do, but I haven't seen them do it yet. I don't know why that is. To me, it would be, I'd be fine with skins. You can always not buy skins, and also it's not like there's not a lot of cool skins in the game currently. You know, in fact, this is like one of the few examples where I think people would be fine with skins. Because yeah, there's plenty of like cool armors and whatnot, especially if but they need to add like an ability to overlay a skin onto an existing class mod. Because right now we're in a weird place. I think it's probably gonna happen at the halfway point. Because I think what they're trying to make people feel like there's value in the season pass and not just in the cosmetics. I don't know why. I don't think people like are overwritten by cosmetic gains. So yeah, it's weird. Also, for people who are saying GRINN your builds is just stupid. Also, well, it is, but well, it's not me. It's the pixies and such. But we're also doing a lot of buffing, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we have like volatile things. That's disgusting. 33%. Disgusting. How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, but it's also like a 20 fucking spell damage. So also a spell critical hit and shit. It's madness. We unlocked the next difficulty. We're finally on the last one, baby. 4th. Abyss Ruin. Diff, odds, and old gods alike. Okay. Use melee to land a kill. Is that there's the fucking objectives the whole time? Weird. I love this. Use melee. At Chaos level 35, you're a joke. Are you kidding me? Stupid. Chaos level 35, yeah, melee. Despite, again, we've just nerfed the ability for you to get melee. Oh, dude. I didn't think about that. Well, luckily, no, it's oh, fuck, dude, that was where so much damage is coming from. Our melee build. Oh, it makes our melee build even harder to fucking use, dude. Oh, I haven't even tested our melee build. Is it alive, you think? Oh, it sucks. Oh, that hurts. I hope it's still, it's something. God damn them. Why? Melee was already in a bad state. God, fuck you. Son of a bitch. That's stupid. Anyways, I hope it's okay. Ben says, and a lot of people would have bought the season pass, so there's a certain obligation as they have already paid people before. Yeah, it'll just make it people just not pay or support them after this. Pew Pew says, thumb cuffs might be cracked since there's a 33% chance to activate just being in the dungeon with a 90% of the condition they are pushing for. Yeah, no, that'd be not bad. It won't be bad. Yeah, people are saying the thumb cuffs would be bad. I think the critical one might be like awesome. Given it probably has a cap of like 25 though. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? But if it has a cap of like 80, that'd be cool. Or 50 even, that'd be not bad. Because I think you can get you can stack a lot of crits, and it's 3% now. So that sounds like my big pooba. Because given the build, even gun builds, most builds have projectiles like fucking Tor explosion, blood explosion. You're firing 18 projectiles on somebody fast. They're all detonating twice, which can both crit, I think. And madness. And also there's many abilities that hit twice. There's also if Moxie made a video about showing why the blood conversion thing is so good, because it basically gives you multiple instances to hit and crit, which would help that even stack even faster. Some madness. And so far, the track record for hotfix patches is some downs, plenty of ups. Yeah, but to me, that's the thing that freaks me out even worse, Fluff, is I can't rationalize the downs. Like, if I could, like, understand the nerfs, but that's why I was laughing so hard in the fucking patch notes video that we made today, is because I was literally just bewildered by, like, the response was, we want more rings to be viable. So our outcome is having 2 rings that are very close. Oh, you get like 25% or 30% bonus, but it's like, that's a huge loss. Or when your health is above half percent. That's a huge, weird build guide thing. You know, you have to have built-in dark magic or something. Weird. Pew Pew says, the DLC feels like a quest that was cut off, and it feels fine at level 12 for a quest, which is a level 12 requirement. Player. Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, correct. Yeah, right. So the thing is meant to be played at level 12. So maybe that's what they're weirdly intending. But then also it has challenging difficulty. So I imagine it starts at 12 and then scales up to being pretty high difficulty, I imagine. Well, actually, not really. Everything's dying still really fast, but you know, really fast. Really, holy shit. This, and this. Do, 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 do. I'd rather have a drip feed of content at all, or I'd rather not be drip fed content at all. I prefer having access to new gear on one day it drops and can be tolerated, the difficulty being spread, but would rather it be in one. Oh, I this is the hardest I've ever disagreed with you. Not from a consumer standpoint, but I think the way the community exists, and I've been playing Borderlands ever since Borderlands 2 with Yodi's, everything. The community, there's so many legendary weapons that never get the time of day, and it's not because they're shit. It's just because relative to everything else that came out, it's just the example of if I were to upload 100 videos, or not, that's too much, or upload like 10 videos, and have a very different subject matter. The one that is the most interesting, whether it's like you doing an incredible feat, something that is really interesting to you, that one would stand out. And also, a lot of people use. Like a lot of people don't just test every single legendary weapon. They look at content creators and see what they're saying, and like, this weapon's cracked. Holy shit, this weapon's so fun. Look at this build that I made with this crazy weapon and this spell. So I feel like the way people consume things has always been in Borderlands ravenous, to the point where, like, and also everything happens that way. How many people did side quests, all of the side quests within every single one of the DLCs within Borderlands 3? I bet it is like 25%. I think the vast majority of people would consume the story, main story. I think mass people would probably get the first couple legendaries, would try to. There's also people who push to end game immediately, who just try to punch through the story. They don't even care. They just want to get to the finish everything basically. And because again, the last boss usually has all the legendary gear, so they want to get to there and get farming immediately. So I think to, like, maybe for a consumer, some people would be like, no, I like having all this stuff now. But if you were to truly ask yourself, are you playing? Do you even know all the legendaries that this DLC had off the top of your head right now? I don't think many people do. I think people know the class mod. I think people maybe know the shot bazooka. I think people, hey, do you remember the dynamite? Do you remember the dynamite? Do you know there's a fucking dynamite spell here, man? I just fucking thought of that. There's a fucking dynamite spell in this. I haven't heard about that in weeks. I haven't heard about that in fucking weeks. Dude, holy shit. I'm not clowning on Fluff at all, by the way. I'm clowning on myself being just like a dummy, being like, all right, that was something that existed. I haven't seen anybody talk about that at all. Now, that was the point of content for a week. I think people might even try to make that shit work. Maybe come up with some sort of angle in which that can operate. But people are just drawn to the first thing, and then they get bored when they haven't even consumed all the content yet. That's something I noticed in way back in the day, not even with Borderlands, but with Fallout. People were talking about how Fallout 4, the people were talking about how Fallout 4 had no content, and I've always like, there's like tons of side quests, there's tons of like side objectives, and people were like, well, what is content defined by you? And it's like, oh, well, content that I deem valuable. And it's like, well, what if I told you there was a quest that you would love? And there's something about the human mind that says like, oh, I've already done like 15 quests. I don't want to do any more side quests, even though if you were to do the side quests, you might actually really enjoy it. But you have limited time, so you're kind of like, Also, Alone Syndicate. I fucking, yeah. It was real late. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, man. What do you call it? It was a whole mess. I was working out. I thought it was Wednesday. I looked at, oh, God, but I looked at my workout plan thing. I realized it was Thursday because we did all this stuff Wednesday. And then I clicked in my head and I was like, we're supposed to be streaming right now. Oh my God. And then I said, do I want to just call it off or do I want to hold my daily streak, scheduled streak, we'll say. And I said, fuck it, let's go. And I was fully prepared for no one to show up because I know how that's how that works. But no, you guys still came, which makes me happy. Lip says they probably nerfed the rings releasing new rings called Stinky. Yeah, I mean, that's an idea. I think I wouldn't even dislike that as much. I do think that's the one example where nerfs can make some rational sense. Where if there is a weapon that is dominating so hard that nothing, because again, like I said, people it's not like the liquid cooling was the only option. It was just the best option, and people will always gravitate to what is the most efficient. It's human nature. People don't want to have fun. People want to be efficient. As much as you may think you want to have fun, you don't. I'm sorry. It's just not reality. You want to know what is the best and the most pungent and the most deadly, and you'll use it. You'll use it. Why? Like, there's plenty of builds that are like, hey, this build is for chaos level 45, but you could use fun weapon. Nope. No one showed up. Well, unlucky, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's absolutely the thing that it seems very apparent. But yes, but that's one thing I was saying, is that if they did have like a DLC thing where they're like, hey, we have a ring that is equal to the shield one, but instead it's you know, if you like, to me that was one that I thought would actually be really good. If there was a ring that was not, if they retweaked what it said. So if you can keep your shield almost close to none, so like you have to have the one where like low health, you'll gain an effect. If they had the same thing with shield, which maybe they do, but I don't think they do, that would give merit, sorry, to the spell shot special. You reload once, you get a spell stack, and you get a tiny bit of shield. That would warrant, oh, now you have that easily activated. Now granted, they may make that give you like a 25% gain, and just because people aren't going to do that because it's not a good enough gain. It's not enough. You're saying worth the squeeze, you know. So you're far better off just using the dungeon one, and they have the same problem that they had where everyone's pigeonholed down to one path. I think there needs to be like a community director that is like very in touch with human nature, or human gamers or something gross to say it like that, but it's true, man. I've seen the same pattern happen, and I think you guys have too. Same pattern of habit. In every video game echoed since I was like 13 in games when I was watching them. And I'm like, this has happened a million times in different ways. And there's a few times where you'll see a company do something the right way and they'll actually succeed, but then they'll do 5 things wrong. And you're like, fuck. It's not only complicated, but sometimes it's just crazy. And also, I'm not underselling how complicated development or choices is in a leadership position, by the way. I'm just saying it's something that I think everybody has seen. Plenty of choices that people are like, why? What is the reason here? Whatever. I'll enjoy the next game that comes out, you know. Oftentimes there's reasons, by the way. There's like good reasons. So like we don't have enough development money. We don't have enough time to develop this. We were set back in development. So there's plenty of good reasons why things haven't worked out in the exact way people wish they did, you know. Fluff says it should be fine. My current rings were related to the boss to receive the bonuses, and was doing work on 35 chaos chambers before the boss. Yeah. But my whole thing, that's something that's really funny about the rings. Like the boss one to me didn't make sense because it actually like it made it so that you were. I think there should be a ring that just affects bosses. They think they fucked up and they said bosses and badasses. So I think you kill a badass and you get like a damage buff for a moment of time. Which granted is kind of hard, but man, bosses have always been in Borderlands, just a giant slab of health, and it's always been a kind of a pain to cut through. So the fact that you're like, okay, wait, I can murder ads like nothing. I can even just body badasses. But the one thing I fucking suck at is the fighting of bosses. Like their health is just so massive that you need to do an abundance of damage. So to have a ring that's kind of relegated to that, or like times that by 2, that's actually fine. Like to me, I think that's actually fair, but instead they have the badass thing there that makes it kind of like just objectively good for anything. I think that's a mistake. I think they should take away the badass and keep the potency, even if it's only by 66%. Because I think a 40% or a 30% nerf or something like that is easier to stomach. But like a going from 100 to like 33, I know it's a little more than 40, but still, it's just enough to be like, God, it hurts a little bit too much. You know, that's enough to make it so builds you can feel a difference quite hard, especially with builds that are already struggling like melee. Because that's the thing, like spell application, you could rip out her throat and we'd be fine for like builds wise. But for melee builds, you tap them and they're like, please kill me. I don't want to exist anymore. Let's do this. Where is portal? Oh, I guess I missed that one. Shit. I am so thirsty and hungry. Normally I stream with some coffee. Stop it. Stop it. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to beat Chaos, or number 4 of this run. Also, can't you like die on repeat and reset a bunch here? Isn't that right? So if I kill myself here, we'll be fine or something? I don't know if I want to just rip my whole money, my whole economy. Oh, he has invincibility phases. This is the first. Oh, he's sucking me in. Come on. Pixies, pick me up. Thank you. He's doing tornado things. Oh, he died in the air. He died in the air, but we got an achievement, boys. You don't see it because Epic's weird, but yeah. Difficulty tier number 4. Did we get anything new? No, we got the rainbow bolt. Oh, wait. We got new gear unlocked. Maybe there's hope. Maybe we get new gear at Chaos level 4. Maybe it works out. I do think they should do trickling one at a time because it's fucking pointless to do number 2 and 3. You feel like, what the hell am I doing? But who the hell's going to go back and do 1 or 2 or 3? What's happening? But people, again, if you each week, that could be something. I would be very excited each week having a stream to be like, hey guys, we're hunting for the new gear. And then we're going to test it in a stream. Boom. I would love that. But again, I hope they do that. I know some people like Fluff wasn't keen on that idea, but for me, I feel like it accounts for the variability of people that I constantly see within games where they exclude content that they otherwise would enjoy because there's just a surplus of content. You know? If only it was primordial or something. Well, we've done it, boys. If they say we've unlocked gear, what is that? What does that mean? Roger says, how was one's day? The title asks, I woke up. Wait, what? Does the title say that? God damn it. Fucking shit. Sorry, Roger. Hopefully the day was lovely. The title was supposed to be, sorry, we have a late stream. Did it not save? No, it says that. It says, holy shit. Oh, no, it says how was day. Okay, no, I guess that didn't save. One part saved, the other part didn't. Yes. Sorry, Roger. The stream was very late, and it was a whole nightmare. But yes, the stream was very late because I was working out, and I forgot. I thought today was Wednesday. I keep mentioning it because I think it's relevant. Okay, I usually like to be pretty consistent, but I've done fucked up a little bit. Now we do this. I have a couple points to spam. Oh, let me catch up on chat. There's always been side projects. I've completely let that go around my head. Love says, it should be fine. My current ring already that. Looks like it says, stream today was up. I thought there would be no stream today. Reply to that. I'd be one of those 25s. Since I'm not likely to do more than one run, I did every quest I could with my main character. Yeah, see, there's definitely people who do that. But again, what I was saying was, maybe you did answer. Is that what you're replying to? I was going to say, on Borderlands 3, did you do every quest, not in the main game, in the side quests? Or sorry, did you do all of the side quests in the DLCs? That's what I was saying. If you did, that's surprising, because I feel like people, especially when a DLC comes out, you have a surplus of content. Or even in the base game. I guess base game is kind of a similar thing. I think base game is actually a better argument, because you have so much content. Pew Pew says, Dynamite is wonderful, boy, and will always have a place in my heart. Him and all the Dynamo. Sorry, Dynamo will always be wonderful and have a place in my heart, boy. Him and all the terrible accuracy. Fluff says most of the new gear was either a new gimmick soaked or a super situational kill, land, shark, etc. But with that being said, though, man, there was still the shield that makes you go invisible and like does a doppelganger thing. I heard nobody bring that up. There's the dynamite one. I don't think that's gimmicky. I think it's just legendary spells suck ass and it's pain. Yeah, but to me, like I think if they had 1 week to where that was the main thing, we'd be able to be like, ooh, piece of candy. Like, well, what is this about? Like, is it good? Maybe we can make it work, you know? You'll have a whole week to figure out and how to see if this legendary is actually worth anything. But that could just be me. Again, maybe people would be like, this is no content, I hate it. But then, I don't know, I feel like, again, if you look at what the majority of the community did, I think dropping a legendary on like with a weekly event makes the event worth something. Whereas you're just like, hey, you can get more money. People are like, what? What? What's the point for money? There's no reason to get money. Maybe vending machines, but even then, you're far better to just grind a specific legend or a gear that you want in the Chaos Chambers, no? I'd say problem with a lot of Wonderlands gear is that they're that we don't really know what is synergizing with the best due to the multi-class system being what it is. I don't know about that. The multi-class system, I don't really have any sort of dislike for the multi-class system. Why? Why is it bad? He says synergizing? What do you mean? I don't know what that means. Fluff says, I'm really anticipating another 10 Chaos levels patch alongside the next mirror content at the end of the month. I just wish they got it over with. To me, I would be fine with that. I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay. I wouldn't be loving that. But if they gave us the ability to just jump to whatever the max or just choose, the fact that we have to individually grind each Chaos level is just exhausting. To me, I would be fine with it. I think everyone would have been fine with the Chaos level changes if it meant you could just jump to whatever difficulty you thought you could handle and then just go beyond that. The fact that you have to go individually, even though you're bodying the enemies at level 27, the fact that you got to keep going 4, 5, 6, even though you could easily survive at 35 is silly. Also, it's kind of a cool moment to be like, my build's fucking nuts, you know, or something. Or even dragging your friend through the encounter, you know, then getting them gear, that stuff like that. You could die and repeat the fades? Yeah, maybe we should have done that. But also, I want to see if our melee build is absolute shit. If we just ruined it. Oh, sorry, Roger. Roger says, how was my day? The title asks. I woke up at a wee hour of 3 a.m. 1 minute ago. What? To find Sir GRINN streaming to great delight. What time do you go to bed, Raja? Please say it's like 10. Cause girl, you need sleep. You need sleep like mad. Holy shit. That's madness. You waking up at 3 a.m.? Is it like 3 a.m. my time? It's clearly your time because it's not 3 a.m. to me, but golly, Raja. You wake up before the sun rises. Whew. That's that's a good thing. That's incredible. I have a hard time waking up at 8, man. Even 8, 7:30, something like that. Eesh. Pain. My body's like, why? Why have you done this? It doesn't have to exercise. The exercise makes it worse. What the new gear is there? I have no idea, Lone Syndicate. I don't know if it's... I feel like those fuckers are going to be like, it's cosmetic. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is your problem? Although I have no idea. Also, they really do need to make this so you can skip it. Like, if I just hit this twice, he just goes... and just spits out something. Because the spinny thing is just... Or at least give me, like, a crazy amount. Give me, like, 5. Because at least then it's warranted to, like, waiting. Even the Chaos Chamber bunnies give you a ton. Granted, this is faster, but why is it's actually the same amount of time? Anyway. Pew Pew says, the gear unlock is for the Chaos Chambers. There's some gear you just won't get drops from the bunnies until you did the phase. Yeah, but see, what's the gear that's dropped now? From the bunnies. Oh, I see what you're saying. So so bunnies could only drop certain amounts, certain gear? I thought I got almost everything day one, man. Yeah, everyone got all the DLC. So you must mean that there's like, now the Chaos Bunnies can drop the gear. But there's new gear now. The Chaos Bunnies can drop them. I thought that's how it worked, but I thought we could always get all the gear. I haven't seen any other unlock, and I've gotten I think that message before. Also, yeah, I think we're done. Let's just go see if our melee build is. Ooh, okay. Yeah, primordial. It's not. Oh, it's ×2. Okay, I see you. That may not be the worst. In fact, before we test that, let's test this one out. This is gonna be depressing. I already know it. It's not great. It's gonna be sad. All right. Also, wait. Hey, maybe this one. No, it's dealing shark damage. Wait. On critical hit, this ring's effect is increased for a short duration. That's not the one that stacks, though. I feel like the one that stacks could be. It's crazy. Also, do you say something, lady? You seem like you're looking off in the distance. No? She's having a good life? Wow, what a weird face. Anyways, not like her face. The literal expression that she's making, not her horns and whatnot. Please, we're in a fantasy realm. Let's go. Let's go see if this weapon sucks horribly. Maybe it's good. We're gonna go to the place where we always go. Tangle Drift. It's the best. Ben says, it's Friday for me. Really? Jesus. Time. Fickle thing. Fluff says, just because I'm not a fan of the current drip feed doesn't mean I won't accept it if we get more additional gear to the pool as a result, which makes running this poor excuse for see a bit more. Well, yeah, that's my hope. Because again, I do think that it's like they described it as like a season pass. It's a headhunter pack. I think it should be like a couple dollars less, but to me, I think it's like a headhunter pack exactly. In fact, in Borderlands 2. The headhunter packs are pretty varied, actually. You got like a whole Christmas event kind of thing. You got a bunch of side quests, a bunch of bosses, a bunch of gear. So, it's not a good look. It's quite, yeah, significantly less. Lone Singlet says, "How are you today, Grin? How was it? What was your day? My day was pretty good, pretty okay, not bad, decent. We made a Let It Die video, which well, that could be Pixies. I have no idea what was better there, Pixies or what probably the Pixies. Probably Pixies did bad, a lot of work. Let's do one more time. Actually, we could just do the one ability and then the thing, and not activate Pixies at all. Let's do that. See quick damage showcase. Also, I wonder if it's better to cast far away or point blank. I think far away they splinter off these spells. Also, I think they're on cooldown for a long time, so unlucky. But yeah. But you know, my day was pretty good. Let's think. I made a Let It Die video, or Deathverse video, sorry. I need to edit it and upload it. But yes, what the hell happened? Did that not impact? That did nothing. Yeesh. We're actually doing a lot of spell damage. So that is painful. Jesus. Also, unequivocally, the thing should be stronger. The DLC weapon should be at least on par or better than the previous gear. I know people can be jaded about that sentence and be like, well, I didn't pay for anything, I should still get the same experience. It's true, you should get a great experience, but I also argue you just get a different equal experience. The spell that we just used is worse than 80% of the purples, or even legendaries. My multi-legendary projectile ones are pretty good, but yeah. I didn't play through the every DLC, but for the ones I did, I was soft cap compliant. I can't read that. Complacent. I haven't had a lot of new gear drops, let alone the chaotic volatile variants, to be something I'd sacrifice my current gear for. Yeah. Let's go see if this melee build is devastated, just obliterated. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. It's probably fine. We'll just probably, like, yeah, I think one version of it got nuked. Probably. Probably. Pew says, on Xbox DLC gear won't drop in Chaos Chambers unless you get the DLC and kill Chum. Once, my daily route is kill Chum once, then leave my game open until next patch. Weird. Okay, I pulled my neck, Pew. Sorry, weird. Yeah, for us, it's just you kill Chum once, you get unlocked gear, and then you can just shut down the game. But I'd never seen, well, I think I seen a little bit of that message. I think it was just cosmetic, though. But I'm curious if that cosmetic that you guys seen, that Jester, was actually, like, gotten through code waves. I don't know. But yeah. I am being able to choose, or I agree, being able to choose what trial to do is skip rather than do everyone would be nice. Yeah. From the future, says Roger. Basement says, if you want to play with all the gear not being nerfed, just play offline. Yeah, but I feel like that's to me, that makes me even more horrible Basm. I feel even horribler Basm, because then I know I know the ass beat's coming. I might as well just adapt now. It's like, because people are like, well, enjoy the mode. No, it's gonna happen. Hit me. Just fucking get it over with. I want to, yeah. The sooner I can get affected by it, the sooner I can get over it. The sooner I can get mad, get frustrated, accept it. Okay. Also, why do I not have a single... What happened? Oh, right. We were dropping gear on Sunday, and I didn't I gotta drop all this gear in my vault. Shit, give me a sec. Oh, this is a whole ordeal, actually. Oh, shit. I forgot yeah. This is the previous thing we had on Sunday. The build. Or sorry, we were dropping gear for someone, and someone dropped me some gear. And I was like, oh, go take it. Let me drop all this. Let me mark it all as trash. Actually, that one we don't need. Yeah, this is the one we need. Drop that. Very good spell. Very good chess piece. Weapon. Look what they did to you. Terrible. Absolutely disgusting. Anyways. Back up. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. I thought we were cooking. Oh, so I don't have my thing, so we're gonna have to do one of these. Whew. Big face. There we go. We're gonna go over here. Where are you? Please tell me I didn't close the... There it is. Thank you. That 107. Delete. Go over here. Oh, shit. Give me a sec. There we go. Let's go back here. That's gone. Where is 107? Copy. Go over here. Paste. Should show up. Please tell me I didn't delete the wrong goddamn save. Where are you? Graveborn. That's the one. We're back. We've got it. We're okay. Good. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, right. We were doing the drift veil things as well. Fluff says, also, something I have to vent a major gripe about Wonderlands. Why the hell is the audio mix so terrible? Is your like person just constantly screaming in your ear about, all these kinds of things? Yeah. Although, yeah, no, I agree. It's a little fucky. I just usually play like with music or podcast in the background muted, so I don't really... just let me adjust individual sliders, especially NPC dialogue. Yeah, it's true. NPCs are kind of loud. Too much. But let's see if our build really got neutered. Well, wait. Well, it's fine. We'll just do it when we get down there. I wanted to see how our base build, which is this. We'll do this. Oh, it's fucking gone for a couple seconds. Let's run over here. 5 seconds and it'll be back. How the fuck did that hit me? Golly. Run and unleash. And not this. Where are you? This, and this, and this. It's a little bit less, but not unacceptable, Let's run it one more time, except this time we'll do our slower method, but it should still be good. Pew Pew says, I still have no idea what the poems are because Junkbox OP. Okay. Alright, Pew Pew. Don't know what you mean, but okay. Lone Sinker says, oh, nice. Can't wait for the death version. I hope it's going to turn out good. I was kind of a little bit rambly. Hopefully I can cut that shit out. Red says multiple audio sliders should be standard for all games. I agree. Or just to me, man, the one thing that freaks me out, I hate it, is like when there's this weird dead zone in certain games. Hit me, do it. God damn you! I need my shield to be gone in order to do any damage. There we go. Come back our health. There we go. Oh, it's getting a little grimace. Oh shit! Wait. Now melee. There we go. We should be good. Now we should melt in a stacking way. Still acceptable, not great. A little bit nerfed since the nerfing to the thing, but still acceptable, especially for bossing. It's not 15 minutes, you know? Whew. And that's not even with the best gun. So, also, it's not even with the spinny blade. So, potentially, I think our build's still good. Granted, I do think the best version, as much as I love Reaper of Bones, I wish it was better. We should use this. Should use the Spectral Blade. Oh! Oh, that's the problem. We're not even using our... Yeah, we're using a fun weapon, not even like a good weapon. Shit. I'll do that one more time, I guess. Shit. Yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Roger says, it was so that Sir GRINN would stand firmly behind the motto, give me my poison now, so that I can brush it off to bite him. Exactly. Great. Well put, Roger. For me, it's like if a hell is waiting for me, let's just deal with it. Okay? I don't want to prevent it if it's gonna, yeah. Like, you know, there's a fucking, I don't know what it is. I think it's like it sounds shitty, but it's a Family Guy meme or something. But it's basically the idea of like, wait, you're not going to tell me when you're going to hit me? I hate it. I can't handle it. I'm just going to assassinate you. It's too much. The anxiety would eat me alive. I can't handle it, you know? It feels a little bit the same, actually. Yeah, it doesn't feel that foreign. And this is unapologetic. This is way better, this melee weapon. But still, it works. But ladies and gentlemen, I am off to go work out. Also, tomorrow might be a little clunky. Hopefully not as clunky as today. The reason why is because I have to go on a job, putting a giant sticker on a giant big-ass semi-truck type thing. What fun. Yes. But that's where I'll be, so I still should be able to show up at the right time. Should be. But be careful with me, I'm a little bit late. Okay. Not as late today, probably, but still a little bit late. Fashionably late. Fluff says, no. Everyone is too damn quiet. The music is so subdued too. Weird. Okay. Yeah, maybe. What is my sound mix? Because I feel like mine, but also I think I had to go deep in the sound to make it like super. Yeah. See, like sound effects are 20, music is 30, and then dialogue is maxed. And I find I can hear the In fact, I found I can hear too much of the dialogue actually. Pew Pew says junk box. Also, I have it on that one thing. It's like I think that's what I have it on, Fluff. I'm not sure if you also have it on, but try it. I think I found way better results when I put it to mono or something. Yeah, mono. Yeah. Otherwise, if I didn't look at an enemy, they would I can't hear them, which is annoying. Pew Pew says junk box is a music player found in diners and bars. Oh, okay. Justin says, Grim, workout vid in the future? Justin, we had a whole ass series on, not a series really, we had a whole, every single Sunday? No, Saturday. Every single Saturday we would work out live on Twitch, which was a whole thing. But it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since I made a video talking about what we do. And we do a lot of different things now. We usually just did kettlebells, a little bit of mace. Now we do a little bit of kettlebells and a lot of slam ball and mace. And yes. But yes, maybe. I think we would do that. I think we would just do like one Sunday stream, or Saturday stream, sorry. We would do a checkup, basically. And like just grind through it together. But then we would also upload it on YouTube, because now we're archiving things on YouTube. Or on GRINN channel, this channel. This is our streaming channel, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Justin says, I work out 6 days a week, calisthenics, weight, hybrid. Love it, dude. That's a hell of a workout. I imagine you watch the Chris Harris stuff, yeah? Man, those fucking stomach exercises, man, it's impossible to not be in agony. And the whole time I'm doing those stomach exercises, the calisthenic Chris Harris, fucking, what is it, Fenex or something? It's fucking, I'm just like, fuck this guy. He edits. All right, I'm gonna use that as an out, okay? He's sitting there doing all these with no break, and there's convenient cuts, okay? I call bullshit. Yeah, Iron Wolf and Team Sam. Oh, is that who you watch? Okay, I actually don't know those people. Well, I might. I just bow with names, but yeah. Everyone says, and Red says, good night, everyone. Off to continue making mods. Good. By the way, Red, you fucking kicking ass. I didn't reply, but I did see your shit, man. I wanted to talk to you when you're eventually on stream. I always forget. I always plan on talking to you guys because we stream so consistently. But Red, your mods, you're banging those things out. I was expecting to see one mod. You have like 14, and also a lot of them are doing great, man. I hope you're getting paid, because you putting work in. For those guys who don't know, Red's making some mods for good old Elden Ring. All right. In fact, I think did you literally make like a CBD body kind of thing? That seems excessive. That seems like you're forging a whole community over there. All right. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm off to go hang out. Work out. Sorry, hang out. And mostly workout. Peace out, bro. Back to work. I go enjoy the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by, Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate you guys, especially for putting out for me. Not a single person came in here and was like, Grin, you fucking bastard. You didn't stream at the exact time. Although that's right here always in my head. So you didn't need to say it. I got it. It got in there. Anyways, tomorrow, hopefully our stream will be good. Granted, I will be quite busy that day doing actual real world things. So hopefully you'll be patient with me once again. There's also a video over at the Brothers Grin channel. If you like games, check out that. It's an update of the thing, talking about kind of what we just talked about here. A little redundant. Anyways, hopefully enjoy the rest of your day, my friends, and goodbye. Thanks, Fluff. Appreciate you.